Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. Such an interesting segment with you, Lori. We appreciate that information. And hopefully you can join us again and tell us more because there's just so much more to talk about. But this segment, we're going to talk to Jeff Grace. He was actually in the Capitol in D.C. a year ago today. Today is the 1-year anniversary. So welcome to the show, Jeff.
Thank you.
Great. Now you live out in Washington, right?
Yes, Battleground, Washington.
All right. So just briefly, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Let's see, 61 years old when I went in, 62 now. Um, Long haul truck driver for Freightliner Corporation. There 26 years, 6 children, 14 grandchildren, and a Christian who loves our country.
Okay, so take us back to the day. What made you decide to go out to Washington, D.C.?
A lot of my friends, we'd been talking, hey, this is crazy what's going on, and wouldn't it be something to go support President Trump? I mean, what a rally to go to if you're going to go to anything patriotic or what I felt American. And so it was actually New Year's Eve, and somebody called me. I was down at the coast with my wife. It's about 11:30. She was actually in bed. This is her birthday, by the way. And
Happy birthday to
Happy
her.
birthday, Miss Grace.
yeah. And so someone reached out and said, hey, what do you think about going to the Capitol for that Trump rally, support rally? I said, let's go. And I went and woke her up and said, guess where I'm going? And she said, okay. And rolled back over and went to sleep. And that was it.
Yeah. Okay, so take us to the day, January 6th. You're at the rally. You're probably listening to Trump, I'm assuming, in that big group. Tell us where you were and how you ended up in the Capitol.
Let's see. I was at the outside of I don't like the big crowd deal. So I standing in the back and standing with some friends. And I met so many great people there, but I knew probably 2 or 3 people, and I didn't go with them. I actually went with my son. And so a father-son deal. Anyway, we were listening to the speech and saw the crowd moving up towards the Capitol, and it was a passionate time. It was felt constitutional that we have the right to protest everything that had been going on in our country that's not okay or not fair, and we moved on up. How I've heard the FBI shared that I was in the first 100 people inside the Capitol, and I'm going, that's really funny because both doors were open and there was a Capitol police officer on each side. Neither one of them said, don't enter, don't come in, don't do anything. So we walked in with a crowd. And it was a lot of people, but it wasn't real tight while we were the first crew in there. Things were being knocked over and stuff like that. So I guess I spent approximately 5 to 7 minutes picking things up, and my son did also, because it's okay to protest, it's okay to be there, but it's not okay to wreck anything. So we were picking it up. The guy walked in who he's been verified is not a patriot. Walked in with a weapon, a steel bar, and I told him, hey, you can't come in here with that. You can protest, but you can't have a weapon. He ignored me. So it's debatable. My son says he threw it down and I picked it up, and I thought I took it from him. But either way, I hid it behind a statue, so no one else could use it. 2 Capitol police officers ran out, picked it up, said, hey, thank you. Be careful. And they have all this on video. They just won't share it. And they ran back in their office, wherever it was. And I said, God bless America. And we left.
Okay, so your hand symbolism, what is that symbol?
62 years old. It's A-okay with me.
I thought it was an okay sign.
Yeah, I
I'm
was like,
like,
okay.
I'm 39 and I thought it was an
All
okay
these-
sign.
why I
These
got out of it.
gang symbols. I have kids in college, and I don't know, but
It's
you
still
know,
just okay.
I think
still
it's
just
just
okay.
okay, right?
all right,
It's okay.
all right. I
And
just wanted to make sure
that's been used, and that's why I did it, because that's been used against me, that I'm a racist white supremacist.
right. And so, and that is, it's so harmful because they say any Trump supporter is a racist or a white supremacist, and it's like that part still baffles me. But that's another rabbit hole to go down another day.
So Jeff, why was it so important? Why did you feel it was so important for you to go there, and then not only you, but to take your son with you to Washington, D.C.?
Oh, whatever. Probably, and I know this, probably one of the most amazing days of my life. That's our country. It's pretty important. We need to stand up for what we believe in, and I don't believe, like the majority of our country, the silent majority, unfortunately, and we need to stand up, because, and not riot, not angry, not, but with your heart and with God in the lead, and basically have our country back, not take it back, because it's being taken from us, but just go back to where we were. I want my grandkids to grow up in the same great America I did.
Jeff, I have a
And,
question for you. Did you feel incited at all by Trump and by his words? Like what he said, did it make you feel like you should just go pillage the White House? You know?
Absolutely not. Matter of fact, Kyle Ayaboska, or whatever his name is, from Channel 6 here in Portland, came out and interviewed me, and he said, "So you just did what Trump told you to do?" I said, "No, Trump didn't tell me to do nothing. Anyone who says they did is a liar. I went in on because Jeff Grace said to do it, and no, he didn't. I was actually, it was more of support of the Constitution, not President Trump."
So Jeff, I do have one question for you. I was wondering, when you were there and you seen those Capitol doors open, because anybody like that goes there as a tourist or anything has to contact their local representative to get in, and I think you have to give them like your social security or ID or something like that. So didn't you find it suspicious when the Capitol doors are open? You have guards there and people are walking in, and then there is things getting tousled around. Did you ever think right away, like, I'm just going to back up and walk out?
Boy, and here we go. This is probably not so hot for my case, but because it's still pending. I haven't.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. Three misdemeanors I've been charged with, but no, absolutely not. I was there to protest, and that is our house, and we do have the right to go in there. And I didn't go to stop any vote. I went there to say my piece. I said a prayer in the rotunda, and I was in total awe. If you look, the picture of the guy carrying the lectern, or that
We do
famous
have
one,
that photo.
I'm the old guy behind him.
So we have a red arrow to you. You're like
That's
two
me.
people away from him.
Yeah.
And I before I got back to the motel, I got a call from my wife. She said, "You're on TV." I said, "Oh, probably not so good." And but no, I had absolutely no problem. I knew it was, and that's the problem. Was what I did right, morally right, legally right, maybe not.
I wouldn't know that it's wrong to walk in there, though. I didn't know I would have to give them any information. The doors are open and people are going in. I mean,
Yeah.
I honestly wouldn't know that I have to, like, here's my ID for me to come into, school kids and people go there all the time. I didn't know you had to check
you're
in.
supposed to register, check in.
Have to be escorted around.
I didn't know that.
I get, but it didn't even go through your head, because it was
Emotional.
it was such a heart-filled, passionate, in a good way, not an angry way, not a hateful way, a passionate time that, wow, this is America, and we can do this and stand for what we believe in. But they're trying to make it so that, everyone says, well, you haven't even been charged. You're not, no trial, no nothing, and it hasn't really affected you. And it's like, really? I've lost my job at 26 years. My marriage has suffered. I've been to the ground with Antifa several times now. It's cost me a lot.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. We are visiting with Jeff Grace out in Washington, and he was actually in the Capitol the day of the Trump rally, January 6th, 2021. And I guess they were there in protest of the election results. That's what this was all about. It was all about not believing the election results.
100%.
And it was there to try to get things taken care of before January 20th, because that's when they certify it. And so it was just kind of a rally to stand up for what's going on, or stand up for your rights, and stand up for fair, legal elections, not the BS that went on this year, or this last time. So I get worked up. Sorry about that. Anyway, Jeff, we found a quick video. Did you, I'm assuming you saw quite a few people inside the rotunda, but I have a clip here of, it was allegedly a CNN anchor, and now CNN saying that she was not an anchor, but it's Jade Sacker, and she was with another gentleman, John Sullivan, who made it inside there, and they were kind of bragging and boasting that they made it. Let's take a look at this.
I'll give you your hug now. We did it. You were right. We did it.
Dude, I was trying to tell you. I couldn't say much.
You were right.
You just have to watch my chat. Is this not going to be the best film you've ever made in your life? No.
That's it.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Hell yeah.
Wait, you weren't recording, were you?
I'll delete that shit out. But I didn't record you or me. It was just voices.
So is that pretty average for what you saw? Is that about what you saw while you were in there?
Yep, exactly.
It
So
was.
I'm confused, because that is not what the media shows. I see people crawling through windows.
Well, but that did happen too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, in there, it doesn't look, I mean, and he did say that, you know, like, you took a crowbar away from someone and you picked up some statues, but in that video, it doesn't look very traumatic or a lot of turmoil, because that is not what the media makes it out like. I mean, it is like a full-on Vikings attack, is
Exactly.
what, like, CNN and some other news outlets make it seem like.
Could you kind of explain like the energy to us? What did it feel like being inside there? Did it go from peaceful to crazy really fast, or can you take us through that?
It didn't feel crazy. You know, being the Capitol police officers standing on each side of the door, it didn't feel crazy at all. It felt, hey, they were expecting this, or it was planned or something, because if that's not the case, and I granted they say they were intimidated by the amount of people, which I totally get. But there's one of the Capitol police officers who's been on TV many times, and he's a good actor, because he's also been in BLM gear with his fist up, and he's been in a couple other things. And I'm going, but he's the one in the chair saying, "I was scared to death," you know, and it's so misrepresented. Even by, I was listening to Fox News on the way home today, and I'm going, you know, why are you misrepresenting that so bad? If you look on the back of my truck, and it's not to poke at anybody or to hurt anybody, but it says January 6, 2021, Patriot Day. And it'll never come off the back of my truck. It's right along with the flag that you'll see on my truck every single day. It's about the country. It's about the Constitution. It's about what's right, and God-given country and their God-given rights. And the Democrats or Republicans or anybody can't take them, and they can't take them from me. You know, they keep taking parts of them away because I played security for a couple religious organizations down on the waterfront in Portland. You know, I would have done it for anybody, but Antifa threatened them, and I said, I'll go stand around it. Well, somebody reached for my sidearm, and so I pushed him to the ground, and then they thought, oh, that's a good reason. We're gonna say Jeff Grace is angry and violent, so now we're going to go take all his guns from him. So they made me relinquish all my weapons to Battleground PD, and it's and I've been charged with misdemeanors.
Interesting.
So
now you did mention, you know, taking that guy down to the ground. All right, so I'm just going to be point blank. If you look anything up about you on the internet, they have you linked to Antifa and the Proud Boys. Tell us about that.
Well, it seems like anytime you, if you stand up and you're willing to stand up, and you're not afraid to put your face out there or embrace it face to face, then you're either a Proud Boy or a 3%er or one of those. And you know, I know lots of Proud Boys, and I know a lot of 3%ers, and I know a lot of outlaw MC people. I mean, I'm 62. I know a lot of people, and the Antifa that came to Portland is garbage, and the burning buildings and going to the bathroom on a flag on the sidewalk, not okay, not
Right.
okay. So I have no problem standing up for that flag.
Right, but you're not affiliated with any of those groups, is that correct?
No, nope, not at all, not at all.
And they've threatened you, you said too, right? Like Antifa has threatened you.
Yes,
Isn't that
yeah,
crazy?
they come to my house.
And you know,
Yeah.
I tried to find the videos that originally it came out where there were black vans that had pulled up at the protest and there were Antifa people piling out like a clown car
sir.
and passing out gear and passing out signs, and all of a sudden you can't find those videos anymore.
I'll get them
I mean,
for you.
isn't but you know what I mean? That's crazy. But here you are, somebody that I don't think, from what I've heard, that there's proof that you damaged anything, and yet your life
No.
is disrupted. You've lost your job. You know, your marriage, you said, is on the rocks. You're being threatened. You're being casted as a bad person by a lot of people, and I just can't understand that. You know, at the same time, there's people that are looting stores and that are burning down businesses, and you know, liberals they raise $20 million to help people that are burning down businesses, yet, and they're free, and here you are, and your whole life has been disrupted and could be taken away, and you could be in jail. I mean, does anybody see that this is a travesty?
Amen. Amen.
Just a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit.
I just can't believe it.
Yeah. So, all right, so getting back to the day of, so when did you find out you were arrested?
Oh, I didn't get arrested for probably about a month. February 6th, I believe it was. Like I said, my
Interesting.
wife called and said, "You're on TV," and I said, "Oh, time to go home."
So
And,
on
I gotta-
TV as in wanted, like if you've seen this person, contact us, or what do you,
No,
how
it
did
was
you get
that
arrested?
picture that was one of the pictures that made it everywhere, and they posted that on TV. And she said, so somebody who knew us saw it and then called family, and then the FBI came to the house and said, "Hey, is this you?" And by then you pretty much understand that, yeah, it's me.
But initially you denied that you were there. Is there some truth to that?
No, I never denied I was there.
Okay, because in one of the reports it said that initially you had told the FBI that you weren't there, but
They're a liar.
they're lying. Okay.
Nope, I told them the truth from word go. What they're saying is that I did say that I got away from my son because they didn't go after him. So they're saying that I'm a liar because I said that I wasn't with my son.
Okay. And so your
Any
son.
good dad would say that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So anyway, you know, we're kind of talking about what's going on, and right now you have some legal cases against you. You have 3 misdemeanor charges against you. Tell us what the 3 charges are.
I believe it's entering a secure building and hanging around, parading, and because I walked up to the Capitol with people. That one of them wasn't there in the very beginning, but after they arrested my son, they tossed it in there. But you know, and then I pleaded not guilty. I've it's been it's been a year since I was there, but about 11 months since I was charged. Pleaded not guilty. Not long after that, April something was my first court appearance, and I still can't get my discovery. And I asked why, and my attorney, and I believe I have it all taped. I don't know if that's legal or not, but I don't trust them like they don't trust me. So I tape everything, every conversation, and every phone call, and everything, because yeah. So anyway, he said, well, they're not. We need to get an order from the judge saying that if you share that Zoom of your, or that video of you in the Capitol picking things up and taking that weapon away from somebody, that they're gonna put you in prison until your trial. I said, why is that? It's my discovery. You shared a bunch of garbage. How about some good? And he said, no, because they're saying they don't want to. At first, it was they don't want people to know where the cameras are in the rotunda, and then that one was a joke. And they said, oh no, it's because we don't want to expose FBI agents that are in there. And I said, FBI agents in there? I didn't see any badges. Where were they? Were they inciting it? Because it is known that. I mean, and where's Mr. Epp at? You know, the guy screaming. He's at his ranch with me with 3 misdemeanors for trespassing. And my case, I pleaded not guilty, so they've offered me pretty much kind of a plea. The attorney did, not the court. And I said, nah, I'm not interested in a plea. So, well, you might go to prison. I said, well, then I did nothing wrong. He said, well, your defense, you work up your defense. And I said, no, my defense is the truth.
Well,
I got no problem sharing.
How can you even work a defense if you can't get your discovery?
Yeah.
Right.
Like if you don't know what they have against you, how could you even defend yourself?
Exactly. And he says he has it, but he can't get it to me yet. And poor guy, David Boss, if you watch some of my Jeff Grace YouTubes, I've poked at him quite a bit. And I've stopped in the last probably 4 months because I've had a lot of personal issues. Not they weren't caused by this, but they weren't helped by it either. But I poked at him a lot. I told him he needed more testosterone, and I give him his first injection. I mean, I rode that guy like a billy
This is
goat.
your attorney you're talking?
Yeah, because he's a public defender.
Oh.
And it's like, you're not sticking up for me. Stand up, man. Do your job. You don't have to like me, but you got to do your job. And I did nothing wrong. So anyway, we've got a pretty good understanding now. But I'm gonna get back into the media stuff again. My ourhouse.ne, and my wife's gonna be at my side helping me. And speaking of that, the marriage is, A-okay. It's amazing how God works. So I've been richly blessed by this. I've met so many good patriotic people that are amazing. I mean, look where I'm at right now with you women. I mean, that's America. And so retirement's good.
Yeah.
So what's next for you, Jeff? Where do you go from here?
I haven't, it's kind of funny. My last Zoom meeting, I was sitting on the ocean in Columbia River Bar and telling them I'm in the nicest courtroom I've ever been in. It was my vehicle. And, it was postponed or prolonged. I mean, I haven't heard from my attorney or the court. I do make my phone calls. I got to do weekly phone calls to my pretrial person, who she happens to be one of the nicest lady I've ever talked to. And that's it. So that was probably 4 months ago, and I have not heard not one single message, phone call, email from my attorney or nothing.
Interesting.
So out of sight, out of mind? No.
So we just have 1 minute left, Jeff. Leave us with something positive, high hope for our country.
Oh, without a doubt. Oh, no, people are starting to see more and more and more. Maybe I was at the beginning of it, but you know what? There are more and more people seeing what's going on and embracing it. And whether it's the COVID, the mask, all this, the vaccine, no, America's coming back, and it'll be better than ever. And the man upstairs has the lead. So my thoughts and prayers are with everybody, and but I'm not going to quit. God bless America.
God bless America is right. That's a good way to leave it. Thanks for joining us today, Jeff. Thanks for giving your side of the whole situation. And we'll put your websites up real quickly. So that's where you can support a patriot. Ourhouseusa.net is where they can find you. And then there's also some social media sites.